Chapter 20 Raven's Flight. Sebastian flew steadily over Blackthorne Head, scanning the grounds for any trace of the man resembling Silas Grudge. A flicker of irritation passed through him. Would this endless disturbance ever end? He had seen more disorder in recent months than any creature should be expected to endure. His beloved Master James and William, now part of the family flock, had nearly been killed on the cliffs at Whitmore. Then there had been Lord Vale's scheme to destroy the Blackthornes and Burkes and seize the elixir formula for himself. The endless construction, hammering, and disruption surrounding the preparations for the surprise banquet and the changes to Blackthorne Manor had worn heavily on Sebastian's nerve, rustling his blue-black feathers. And now another threat? Hell no! Absolutely not! Sebastian felt the cool fog drift across his wings as he soared through the late afternoon mist. Then he spotted the painter, the man who resembled Silas Grudge, the same figure who had looked up at Master James from below the window. Without a sound, Sebastian descended and perched in a nearby tree, watching silently. The man entered the cottage, went upstairs to a bedroom, undressed down to his undershirt, and sat at a wooden desk, sipping whiskey. Sebastian remained perched outside the window, cool and watchful. As the sun began to set, the man lit a small kerosene lamp before crawling into bed. That was Sebastian's clue. He then flew silently to the windowsill and observed the room with careful attention. There was only a narrow bed, the man sleeping heavily and snoring with irritating force, the kerosene lamp flickering softly, and the paint-stained overalls draped across a chair. Nothing appeared unusual. Sebastian remained perched in silence, watching. Then Sebastian flew down to a lower window overlooking a modestly appointed salon. A blue-gray velvet sofa faced a low table scattered with several books, a fountain pen, and an open letter. An open letter! Sebastian's attention sharpened. That might be important. Sebastian tapped lightly against the window pane, but it remained locked. He tilted his head. How was he supposed to get inside? Flying around the cottage, he discovered that every window had been shut tight. Then he noticed the glow of firelight flickering from within and smoke drifting steadily from the chimney above. Sebastian despised soot and dirt. Such things felt entirely undignified for a raven belonging to Blackthorne Manor. Whenever careless chambermaids neglected the salons and drawing rooms, Sebastian would caw loudly in protest until the offense of soot and dirty fireplaces was corrected. Irritated by the thought of squeezing through a chimney, he flew back to the bedroom windowsill to reconsider his options. Sebastian began tapping steadily against the window with his beak. After several minutes, the man stirred awake with a groan. "What is all this tapping at my window?" The filthy, disheveled man stumbled drunken out of bed and lurched toward the window. Seeing Sebastian perched outside, he waved a hand irritably. "Shoo! I'm trying to sleep." Sebastian was beginning to enjoy himself. He flew swiftly to the downstairs salon window and tapped more insistently against the glass. After several minutes, the man stumbled down the stairs and opened the window slightly. "Fly away, Raven, and leave me in peace," he muttered. Sebastian gave a sharp call of glee as the window opened, then immediately recoiled as the man's foul odor hit him. Good heavens, what a low creature! When was the last time he bathed? The stench was so offensive that Sebastian flapped away to a nearby maple tree to recover his composure. Behind him, the man stumbled back up the stairs toward the bedroom. The downstairs window was now cracked just enough for Sebastian to slip through if he was careful. He waited in silence. An hour later, the man had fallen into a deep sleep. Sebastian seized the moment, gliding into the salon and taking the open letter in his beak. He moved with precise, controlled silence. It would be difficult for Sebastian to fly back to Blackthorne Manor with a letter in his beak, though the distance was only about 1.5 miles. He sensed danger gathering nearby and a storm brewing on the horizon. Flying back toward Blackthorne Manor, Sebastian spotted Master James' bedroom window slightly open. He slipped inside quickly and dropped the letter onto the bed. He remained still, alert, and watchful. His cage door stood open. but Master James was nowhere to be seen. Sebastian worried that Pritchard or one of the servants might find the letter. He quickly returned to the bed, took it up in his beak, and carried it back into his cage. Sebastian rather liked his new lodgings. The cage he now occupied was nearly 5 times larger than his previous one, clean, spacious, and well kept. He dropped the letter inside and then, needing a brief moment of relief, slipped back out through the window and flew up towards the roof. From above, he spotted one of the workers illegally picking a blue rose from the garden. Sebastian was instantly irritated. With precise timing, he swooped past and left the man a decidedly unwelcome reminder before circling back. Called sharply, he returned through Master James' window. Where was Master James? Sebastian flew to the butler's bell and gave it a sharp ring, hoping the sound might draw him back. Where there was no response, he returned quickly to his cage and settled into still, controlled watchfulness. 4 minutes later, Mr. Pritchard entered. Master James, did you ring? He paused. James was not in the room. That was unusual. Pritchard stepped out into the corridor and made his way toward Blackthorne West, but James was not there either. Then he heard voices coming from Master William's quarters. He knocked. Master James, are you there? Master James opened the door. William was seated on the floor, carefully setting up a chessboard. Yes, Pritchard, how may I help you, sir? James asked. Master James, did you just ring for me from your suite? No, sir. I've been reading with Master William. Mr. Pritchard frowned, mildly irritated, assuming it was a childish prank. Master James, we are very busy. Only ring for me when you actually require my assistance. James sensed something was not right. Oh, yes, of course, Mr. Pritchard. I'm sorry if you were disturbed. After Pritchard left, James and William exchanged a puzzled look. We need to investigate this quickly, James said. The boys used the adjoining door from Blackthorne East and entered James' chamber. Sebastian began calling loudly at their arrival. Sebastian, you discovered something, James said. Sebastian indicated the letter resting at the bottom of his cage. William quickly secured the room, locking the door to the hall, the adjoining door to the salon, and drawing the curtains close. In silence, the boys began to read.